Gressfan is so much to live up to. Like, game one between GuMiho and Creator, the first series, it wasn't just Skytoss against Mass BC. There were nukes involved, nukes that were actually connecting with buildings, with workers, with army. There was there was a lot going on in that game. A lot to live up to, but here we are in the decider match here of Group C, and spawning in the bottom right hand corner we have the South Korean Protoss player representing Team Abydos. It is Creator. And spawning in the top left hand corner we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Terran representing himself. The madman is teamless. He deserves the support. He deserves to be on a team. The ESL Masters Summer runner-up. It is GuMiho. Oh boy. And in the time between this series and the first time they faced, I'm sure both players have had a moment to kind of ruminate over their series, over their games, identify strengths and weaknesses, and I'm sure this second series will be a lot more to show for as a result. Again, what really propelled Creator forward in Game 2 and Game 3 earlier was just catching GuMiho out of position, the mass counterattacks as well. As a result, GuMiho may be a little bit more defensive this time, especially on some of the smaller maps. We'll see. We shall see. Curious. I'm curious as well. Recently, we have been seeing some mech in TvP, specifically by TY, and I wonder if GuMiho was intrigued by that. If anyone were to emulate TY and dabble in mech against Protoss, it would be GuMiho. Of course, TY is pioneering that, but like, you know, is anyone going to follow suit? I wonder. As GuMiho is setting up for a Rax expand, is going to go for that CC on the high ground, so a very safe location with the CC. Isn't going to be disturbed by any kind of adept aggression on the ground. As Creator likewise goes for a gate into the Cybercore, into his expansion. So nothing too crazy out of Creator. He did successfully keep his probe hidden. He did hide his probe here towards the south. Reaper didn't catch it, so the probe comes back in for a scout and does confirm the CC on the high ground, as well as the tech lab on the racks as well, which is a little bit telling. GuMiho going for some marauders. Very interesting. Reaper gets across the map. Again, it's a bit too early for tech as the Twilight Council was thrown down. Reaper was unable to see much of anything. As the Reaper is forced back. And again, seeing the tech lab on the rack should tell Creator that we have marauders on the way. So we shouldn't be looking to be too active. Again, the goal of GuMiho is that if Creator did move out across the map with adepts or with stalkers, then the marauders would catch them. Marauders would just out-trade them, and they'd be really good pickoffs for GuMiho. As behind this, he's just looking for his expansion, getting into his 2-1-1 setup. Nothing too crazy out of our Terran player. As Creator does throw down additional gateways. So this isn't going to be a 2-gate opener into a third base. That is a third gateway on the way here for Creator. So a little bit more of an aggressive Blinkstalker opener. Fun fact, this is the exact same opener that Creator went for in Game 1 on Gressfan in the last series against GuMiho. Deja vu. It's happening again. So with this Creator, he's going to have quite a number of stalkers available to him to just give him map control. He's not really going to have too many opportunities to push into the main and, you know, warp in across the map and be hyper aggressive. With only 3 gateways, he can just have like map control basically, and he should expand behind this. That is, third base is on the way. Meanwhile, GuMiho did open up with a mine drop, was spotted by that adept, so GuMiho is going to be forced back. Now, what's dangerous here, GuMiho isn't necessarily looking for damage with this mine drop. Ideally, he gets damage, sure, but he also scouts his opponents. GuMiho, he's not fully aware of what's going on. He hasn't seen the Twilight Council, doesn't know how many gateways there are, doesn't know if there's a third base. GuMiho is in the dark. As he is getting into his 3-1-1 setup. No tanks, by the way. Very Marine Marauder heavy because of the tech lab earlier. Pumping out those Marauders. So, yeah, actually, GuMiho doesn't have the best defense against something like 4 Gate-Blink Stalkers. Thankfully, that isn't what's happening. But GuMiho is looking a little bit vulnerable back at home. He's going to be pushing out. Does come across the Adept. The Adept does see the main army. So Creator knows that GuMiho's out of position. Uh-oh. Creator has avoided the army. He can go into the main. He can go for a warp in as well. He is going to get quite a lot of economic damage. The question becomes, though, does Creator have enough back at home to defend it? No shield battery at the natural. Creator, he knew the army was coming. He knew it was coming, but he just wasn't ready for it. Pylon is exposed. Pylon is going to go down. Ay, ay, ay. Creator was maybe hoping that GuMiho would turn back around and go back home. As he gets into the middle line, we have a forced recall. The Prism goes down. And this is getting too much damage. He gets on top of those workers. He gets into the middle line. 9 probes go down. 11 probes. 12, 13. 13 workers, and he forced the recall, which means that GuMiho didn't really take too much damage at all. Creator caught GuMiho out of position, but likewise, Creator also didn't take that army seriously. Again, I'm pretty sure Creator was hoping that GuMiho would turn back around and wouldn't commit to a counterattack. And Creator is suffering as a result. Now he's working on his own push. Does bait out those Widowmine shots. Nicely handled. Gets a Marauder as well. Behind this, Creator taking a 4th base, while GuMiho gets his own 3rd up and running. Creator hasn't seen this, by the way. He rotates around, he gets eyes on the triangular 3rd, and he sees nothing. Little does he know that a 3rd is being taken. As across the map, we do see GuMiho going for the scan, trying to figure out what is going on. Creator, I believe he does have charge. He doesn't have any splash damage though. No Templar Archives, no Robotic Spade, no Colossus, no Storm. Scouting Zealot does confirm the location of the 3rd. But Creator is going to be heavily reliant on a Gateway army instead, which can still work well. You can see GuMiho again scanning, just trying to get a read on what kind of army he's going to be facing. Again, not really seeing any other form of tech. Not yet. We can see that Creator is eventually going to work on Colossi with that Robotic Spade on the way. And a 2nd Robo as well. But it's going to take a while for Creator to really get into that. He is going for the drop into the main. GuMiho does spot this. The drop shouldn't get too much done. As GuMiho is being pulled into the main, into the main base. Do you see Creator being active, moving out with his main army? Gets 3 SCVs. And he is rotating towards the 3rd base of GuMiho. A base that is looking pretty exposed. As we do go for a mine drop into the main base. Both players are hurting. Both players are losing workers. Looks like GuMiho is coming across the main army, but I don't think this is the fight that he wants to take. A lot of Marauders are going down. More probes going down here in the natural. Looks like these mines may reset as well. Up! 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 Mine Shot does get baited into the gas geyser. Zealots are across the map, and they get 2 SCVs for their troubles. They keep the army busy at least. But it looks like because of all the mine damage, Creator does pull back. He doesn't commit to any kind of attack. Ugh. Those ults did get a bit out of hand. The War Prism is still alive. The Liberator is going to force a recall or just get a kill on that Prism. GuMiho can finally focus on his push. And what do we have to work with back at home? We've got one Colossus. Got a second Colossi on the way. Creator unable to actually make use of his production. He can't make 2 Colossi at a time yet. Doesn't really have the resources for it. And 1 Colossus is pretty manageable. After scanning, GuMiho is just going straight for the Doom Drop into the main base. Forcing a recall on that Colossi. On the army. GuMiho is going to be able to trade relatively well with the Gateway army, but with the arrival of these Colossi, I feel like GuMiho, he has to respect it, has to back off. At the same time, sending his reinforcements into the 4th. Into that mineral line, looking for more probe kills. And he's going to find them. And 10 plus probes are going to be going down. 14 workers in total. Again, the Doom Drop into the main base didn't really get too much damage done. Traded with the Gateway army, but really was a distraction for those reinforcements. Creator getting pulled apart, just didn't have enough to split up between its bases. It does feel like GuMiho is in the driver's seat. He's got his 3rd up and running. Ghosts are now in the mix. EMPs. 4th base being taken on location. Despite Creator having a 4th base for far longer, he just can't really hold on to his worker count. He's had a hard time preserving his probes. Here we go, GuMiho pushing it forward. Good EMP on the army. There's no shield battery, there's no overcharge in position. Another EMP on the 2nd Colossus. GuMiho is being forced back. But only for a moment as the Colossus barely survives. Barely does hold on. Creator fighting back with everything he has. GuMiho is even just abusing the terrain here from the low ground. Now, at least Creator did keep both of his Colossi alive, which is pretty impressive. He's now up to 3, working on his 4th. He has been able to build up his worker count as well. But when it comes to the size of the army, he still doesn't quite have enough here to go up toe-to-toe with GuMiho. I do think that, like, if he takes a defensive position, maybe Creator can take a fight, but GuMiho clearly wants to go for multi-prong harass. Like, clearly he wants to go for, like, 2 pushes and pull apart Creator. Now, the Dark Templar did spot the army of GuMiho ahead of time. But it may not even matter. DTs are being cleaned up across the map. They get 5 SCVs, not too bad. Looks like this is enough to distract GuMiho. He's pulling back with everything. Just regrouping. Gathering his bearings. And GuMiho is able to get his 4th base up and running. Whew. All right. Creator stabilizing. he's getting there. He's getting there. That was a pretty tense moment. It's up to 4 Colossi. He can start his immortal production. We talked about this in the previous game on Gressfan, where it was pretty interesting to see Creator not go for disruptors. Oh, this goes for another DT run by. But it was interesting to see Creator not go into disruptor production, going for immortal Colossus instead, and this eventually led into Skytoss. I don't think Creator has the economy to sustain a Skytoss transition yet. I don't think we're there yet, but that could be where Creator intends to go. Without that kind of ace up his sleeve, though, GuMiho is going to be the first to max out. Has two large forces threatening the center base, threatening the 5th base as well. Creator a little bit late to react. Let's lose a couple of workers. GuMiho looking for another way in. It's going to be rotating over towards the 3rd and the 4th base, respectively. Likewise, Creator also rotating, and he should be able to meet up with both armies. Despite that, a good EMP is going to connect. He's focusing down the Nexus. Up! No! A little bit more. Doesn't quite get the Nexus. Overcharge keeps it alive. DT coming in from behind as well. We do see reinforcements hitting the 5th base. GuMiho coming in towards the 3rd. He wants one of these bases. And it looks like he should barely be able to get one. It costs him a lot, but he does take down that center base. Over on the right-hand side, taking a decent fight. But with the arrival of these Colossi, Creator should clean this up. Meanwhile, we have a drop into the main. Oh, GuMiho overextending, I feel. I'm surprised that he committed to the fight, that he didn't pull back. He loses quite a lot. The Colossi stand strong. Pushes have been cleaned up. We still have a drop in the main, which will distract Creator, but it looks like he's going all in. Here we go. He's got his 3 Colossi. Got some Immortals, TTs. Yeah, the drop across the map is going to be forced back. Oh my goodness. As the Colossi lead the charge. Good EMPs, meanwhile, drop in towards that 5th base. Again, just confirming the Creator is all in. Crippling his economy. GuMiho being really patient. I appreciate it. Here we go. Spooling the boys. He's coming in for a full surround. SCVs from behind, from the front. EMPs blanket those Immortals. And it looks like GuMiho has too much. He has the better engage. Takes down all the Colossus. GG gets called, and GuMiho will take game number 1. Oof. That was an intense game 1, though. GG. I was really worried that GuMiho had thrown away too much. I was concerned that he had maybe overstayed his welcome and overcommitted, especially at that 3rd base. Threw away a lot of his ghosts, a lot of his marauders, but he had plenty at home to defend, and he forced the all-in. GG. GG, well played. Ooh, he does take a lead in this series, but it's still best of 3. You know, Creator, he can come back. It did feel like almost from the beginning, though, GuMiho had a lot of momentum, and he was in the driver's seat for quite some time in that first game. We'll see if Creator can bring it all back. Once again, I'm getting some deja vu. Game 2 on Dragon Scales. Did they just do the same vetoes? Did that just happen? Maybe. Here we go. Spawning in the top left-hand corner of Dragon Scales, we have the South Korean Terran player leading the series 1-0. It is GuMiho. And spawning. In the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Protoss, representing Team Abydos down in this series, but hey, he's brought us to the ace match before. He can do it again. It is Creator. The deja vu is real. So, Game 2 is going to be on Dragon Scales, just like how Game 2 was also on Dragon Scales in the last series. This was the map where Creator was able to bring it back and force the ace match. Yeah, that was all heavily reliant on the Zealot counterattacks, on catching GuMiho out of position, outmaneuvering him at times. We'll see if that can be done again. This Creator is just going for his scouts across the map, trying to figure out what is going on. GuMiho is going for a double gas opener this time. Looking to delay his CC on the low ground, get into a faster factory. And Creator will get eyes on this. Is he going to be locked into the main? It looks like he will not. The Probe will escape for now. We'll see if we can escape the clutches of that Reaper. Oh no, never mind. We're going back in. Just to get eyes on the follow-up. Behind this, we see Creator going for his gate into his Cybercore, into his expansion. Nothing too crazy. Nothing crazy out of Creator, as he does confirm that factory on the way. And we have seen GuMiho even go for these crazy one-base all-ins in the past. I mean, say in the past, last week. We saw that against Australia, but nah, this time we do have a CC on the low ground. GuMiho is expanding. Now it's going for another starport after this. We're not going to be delaying his CC for any longer. GuMiho tries to get a bit of a scout off across the map. Does confirm the wall. Doesn't get eyes on the tech yet, as Creator is going for another Twilight Council opener. To kind of bring it all back, Creator, in the last series, he went for a Twilight Council opener every single game, except for... Up! Oh, let's go! GuMiho does knock himself over the wall, gets into the main, and does get eyes on that Twilight Council. Ah, beautiful. It's been a while. It's been a while since I've seen that, but depending on the SimCity, and on certain maps, you can actually knock your Reaper over this little area here. It happens. Oh, he's doing it again. You can do it on Babylon as well, just to get that scout off. Second Reaper doesn't get too much done, unfortunately. Creator was ready for it, but at least with the first Reaper, did confirm the Twilight Council and saw it researching. As Creator is going for a 3-gate Blink Stalker opener. But yeah, depending on the angle of the buildings and making sure that there's just like a slither to work with there, can do that. Oh. As back at home, we are getting ready for a mine drop, so nothing too crazy. This may be a mine with Marines as well. So a little bit more committed out of GuMiho. Creator is just, you know, looking for map control, throwing down spotter pylons, getting his gateways up and running, saturating his natural. Just like last game, going for that 3-gate opener. This isn't all in by any means. You do typically expand with this as well. Take a third. Oh, as we do have 3 Widow Mines here on the right hand side, and we have 1 Widow Mine waddling into the natural base. Alright, got my attention, GuMiho. Let's see how well they do. As the mine does attempt to scuttle in, there are some adepts in position. Oh, and that is going to clue Creator into this. We do see GuMiho trying to pull him out, trying to distract him. Mine drop not going in yet. Stalkers are in position. Again, where there's one mine, there's many. So, yeah, GuMiho is not going to go for it. Is going to back off, back at home, getting into his 3-1-1 setup. We have our Raven, we have our tanks. Everything looking normal out of GuMiho. Interesting. So, as the drop comes back in, we can talk about that later. Widow Mines are looking for those connections, and oh, we do split up just in time. That was almost disastrous. Oh, they're retargeting! Oh my god. GuMiho retargeting his heart out here, delaying so much mining time. Mine finally goes off as Creator rocks up across the map. But there are tanks and Marines waiting for him. So GuMiho does hold on. What I was about to say is that Creator actually delayed his third. He delayed his third in favor of a faster Templar Archives. So he's working towards, I imagine, Storm. First 2 High Templar already here. So an interesting choice here from Creator. Going to be delaying his economy for this. Oh. As Medevac did attempt to go back in, but did get feedbacked. There it is. Storm is on the way. Meanwhile, across the map, Creator just applying some pressure. Again, because it was a 3-gate opener, he can assert himself like this. We do have an abundance of Stalkers to work with. Not enough to like try to break the natural or the main, but enough to be annoying and pick off a couple of units here and there. Slow down the push. As GuMiho is pushing out. Oh, does force a stim out of GuMiho as well. Oh! Doesn't quite pay off. Doesn't get a Stalker. GuMiho is not all in by any means. He is getting a 3rd CC behind this. He's expanding. Just pushing out. Giving himself some breathing room. A Storm not quite done yet. We still need a couple of seconds. Oh! Oh my god. Creator playing with fire. There we go. Storm is now done. Before that can really kick in though, GuMiho was able to see it ahead of time. He can pre-split. Even there, we do land a couple. Decent Storm towards the end. But for the most part, the Marines do avoid them. Still have 2 Storms remaining. Slowly pushing in. The longer this goes on, the better it is for Creator. He's got more Warpins in the bag. Getting more High Templar, more Immortals. Oh, so we do land a good Storm on those Marines. Oh my god. GuMiho, calm down. He almost killed his own tank. Just have to pull it back. Bit of a misclick there as he's rallying across the map. Calm down, Gummy. Calm down. We can see the Creator is a little bit paranoid about a drop into the main. He's getting ready for that. Oh, as the Marauders are putting in a lot of work. Take down a sentry. Take down probes. And here we go. Creator's going to try and bustle it in, but no, with the disable, he can't commit. He has to back off. He doesn't have any storms. Not until that disable runs out. Here we go. Once again, he's diving on 40. He's getting on top of the tanks. The storms are finally here. They zone away the Bio Army. They connect with the Marines. And it looks like Creator will clean this up. Even keeping a lot of his High Templar alive. And it looks like GuMiho may have just stuck around a little bit too long. Oof. Another big storm is going to force GuMiho back. This Creator takes his fourth. It looks like Creator just doesn't have enough momentum to keep on pushing. Not yet. It's going to back off. Throw down a Robotic Spay. Work towards Colossi. That definitely was a scary moment for Creator, but he didn't really lose too much. Looking at the units lost tab here, he lost a couple of High Templar, yes, but outside of that, mainly Zealots. You can see that GuMiho, he's actually come out a little bit worse for wear, losing more minerals, more gas, more importantly. Did lose that Raven and all those tanks. Not quite finding the damage that he was looking for. Pick us from Creator, gets a ghost. We see he's got eyes on any would-be fourth base. This Creator is backing off. Another mine drop into the main base, but it looks like Creator was able to keep up with it. Only loses 2 probes. As an observer is forced to be recalled. Have a detection. GuMiho pushing in on the right-hand side. Plenty of ghosts for those EMPs. Oh, but what about the storms? A big storm on the army. I think we have a couple more. We have 1 left, and it will zone away that army. Disruptors are arriving. Immortals arrive as well. Creator has more than enough to deal with this. You can see how stimmed and stormed this army is. the same time, Creator attempted to go for a Zealot run by, but GuMiho was in position. Interesting of Creator to not go for Colossi, but is actually going for Disruptors instead. A bold move. That double Disruptor production. I was working towards a 5th base. There's a push happening here on the left-hand side. I believe Creator did get eyes on it with a Spotter Probe. This pylon as well. As GuMiho is slowing the game down, is taking his 4th base, backing off, working on not just his Ghosts, but also his Vikings as well. Or was working on his Vikings. Now that there are no Colossi, has thankfully stopped. But hopefully we start working towards Liberators soon for GuMiho. Until then, I do still kind of want to favor Creator in a big fight. Comparing these two armies, there's just so much potential in these Disruptors, and there's not much to zone them away. Like, there's no tanks, there's no Liberators, just Marine, Marauder, Ghost. It's very Beyond-esque. I mean, GuMiho has a lot of diving potential, but that's a lot of Disruptors to focus down. That's 6 Disruptors, soon to be 8. Oh boy. Can GuMiho avoid those Purification Novas? First one does zone back the army. Creator being a little bit adventurous with his Disruptors. Oh my god, he has to be so careful. Up! Good connection. And he's still got a couple more where that came from. At the same time, a massive counterattack over on the left-hand side. Is there anything in position? We have a couple of units, 2 Stalkers. There we go, the rest of the army is rotating over. Overcharge is going to try to keep the Nexus alive, but no, it's not enough. Base will go down. Oh my god. Despite that, Creator landing some juicy Novas. Good target firing here on the left-hand side. GuMiho does get 2 Disruptors. And Creator is now working on his Colossus. Both players going to be trading in the end. The army on the left-hand side being cleaned up, being swallowed up here by Creator. Ooh. Gets everything. We have some flanking Disruptors. They do take a mine to the face. So Creator's just looking for a way in. Looking for an opening. GuMiho, after taking so many mines to the face, still needs time to remax. Yeah, he cannot hold on to this. We can see Creator just bullying GuMiho back. Liberators are now on the way, but they may just be a little bit too late. The CC goes down. At the same time, we do have a drop across the map. Do we recall? No. We do not recall. Liberator goes down. There is no range. We have enough reinforcements back at home, and yeah, Creator, he holds onto his Nexus. Pushing up this ramp is going to be difficult, but with Disruptors, yeah, he can just force his way through. Oh my god. Once again, the Novas do connect. Liberator falls, and the Creator, he's just breaking the defenses. There's not much to stop him. Good EMPs! And good target firing on the Disruptors. A decent fight from GuMiho, but he just doesn't have the numbers. He just doesn't have enough. Even if all the Disruptors die, there would just be too much Protoss anyway. He's coming in with a drop once again. We have Zealots to defend. Even if the Nexus goes down, it will not matter. As Creator can just keep on pushing. GG gets called, and Creator takes game number 2, tying up the series 1-1, forcing the ace match. GG. Oh. GuMiho doing his best Beyond impression. I mean, he got the Disruptors in the end, but at what cost, Papi? At what cost? So many juicy Novas did connect, and Yeah, GuMiho, he just couldn't keep up with his losses in the end. Like, he was being very aggressive, and I mean, he was getting a couple of bases here and there, he was getting a couple of probes here and there, but for the most part, he was just losing a little bit too much and didn't have the economy or the production to really sustain those losses and remax in time, especially on a map as small as Dragon Scales. That counterattack can happen so quickly. And we're going all the way to game 3. And I guess it was the same vetoes. I guess so. We're getting into Babylon, just like last time. Here we go, and spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Babylon, we have the South Korean Protoss player representing Team Abydos. It is Creator. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Terran, currently teamless. It's a travesty. Deserves to be on the team. The ESL Masters Summer runner-up. It is GuMiho. It all comes down to this. The final game of the series, the final game of this group. Here we go. The last time these two players faced off on Babylon, it ended in a base trade. GuMiho lifted up all of his buildings. He was taking the base of Creator with a ninja base here towards the south. It was wild, it was crazy. Can this game live up to the last? As GuMiho goes for a double gas opener once again. The last time we were on Babylon, Creator, for the first and only time so far in this group, did go for a Stargate into Phoenix opener, into Phoenix Colossus. We'll see if he does it again. We will see. And yeah, so far, just like the previous game, double gas opening coming out from GuMiho, which means a faster factory, bit of a later CC. Bit of a later CC in the end. Likewise, Creator not doing anything too crazy, going for a gate expand into that cyber core. Oh. No proxy starport, no proxy stargate, not this time, thankfully. As we get into this, of course, with this probe scout, the probe is going to go down, but Creator does at least confirm the double gas opener, confirms that his opponent's going to be a little bit more aggressive, and Creator has to be a little bit more attentive on the map and back at home as the Reaper is moving out. GuMiho getting his CC on location. Oh, interesting. Creator this time not going for a Stargate, going for a Twilight Council instead. Let's go. So Creator is mixing things up. He's going to be keeping GuMiho on his toes. And GuMiho himself, this is looking almost like we saw a similar opener to this a couple of games ago, especially if he goes for a faster starport, is going for a cyclone first. We'll see if he stops at one or if he goes into multiple cyclones here, just to be that much more aggressive. Starport is on the way. There's a blink opener out of Creator. We haven't seen any kind of weird charge all-ins or anything like that. Not this series. They do happen from time to time, just not as commonly or as frequently. This Creator is going for a 3-gate opener, I imagine into a third base. We've seen this every game so far this series, this specific best of 3. We haven't seen a 4-gate Blink Stalker opener yet. I don't think we're going to start here. I don't I don't believe. As the Reaper, tries to knock himself into the main, but not quite in position there. Wasn't able to do so. Behind this, yeah, GuMiho going for that fast medevac. I assumed it would be for a second Cyclone, but no, it's going to be one Cyclone into a tank. So we're going for a tank drop. Let's go. Oh my god, that's the second tank, actually. Ay, ay, ay. This is going to be very committed out of GuMiho. Off of 2 bases. Now with this, you can, I imagine he's going to be hitting here outside the main base. You can get within range and take down both the cyber core and the gateway. This is a good position to abuse. There we go. GuMiho's moving out across the map. The adepts were pulled out of position over towards the top right hand corner of the map. Creator not in position to actually spot this moving out. Boys are being pulled as well to repair, to throw down bunkers. And GuMiho, he's not going for the main, he's going for the throat. He's going for the robo. He's going for that natural wall. Tanks are in position. Boys have arrived. We do have a shield battery, we do have an overcharge. A second shield battery is on the way, but this is a late reaction out of Creator. He did not see this coming. Gateway is going to be going down. Creator does dive on top of this army. He gets on top of one of those tanks, but he takes so many tank shots to the face. Almost every stalker goes down. And that may just be it. GuMiho, he busts into the natural base, takes down the shield batteries. He's camping the production. He's camping the robo. And the Immortal is not going to come out. Creator, just now he throws down additional gateways, but again, it may be too little too late. Creator's going to try to catch some reinforcements. But these stalkers are so battered, they're so bruised. And GuMiho is slowly pushing up into the natural. We have a Dark Shrine on the way. This would have been great earlier. Like, a reactive Dark Shrine isn't a bad thing, but by the time it finishes, we're not going to have a natural anymore. Tanks are in range. We have bunkers to support. Liberator as well. There's no way for Creator to hold on to his natural. He's stuck on 1 base. Now he does have Blink, so he can counterattack or try to surround the army. But GuMiho, he's sending his rally back home. He knows that he's potentially vulnerable to a base trade. And he's getting ready for it. Bunker on the way as well. GuMiho in a commanding position. With this 2 base all in. Boys are being pulled prematurely. I don't know if that was intentional, but the boys go down before the stalkers could really engage. More workers, they rally into their deaths, and yeah, it looks like GuMiho has done it. He's busting into the main. Dark Shrine has been spotted. DTs are warped in across the map. Creator, he's getting damage done. We have DTs here back at home as well. Do we have a scan? Up! We have a scan back at home. DTs did go down. Looks like the stalkers will as well. Yeah, 1 more scan is all we needed. GuMiho did sustain some losses. Turret is on the way. He has, you know, if he wanted to, he could throw down a turret here on the front lines as well with that SCV. Could do so. For now, he's just denying mining here at the gas. Getting in position. Oof. And from here, GuMiho, I don't know how he loses this. Other than DTs, of course, but again, he's ready for it. He has detection. He's got Banshees on the way, turrets in the main, and the natural. Creator, he blinks onto the low ground, and he should be able to take down the tank at least. It's going to be so close. The repair is too good. GG gets called, and GuMiho takes the series 2-1, getting his revenge, and qualifying for the GSL Season 2 Round of 8. GG. Oh. GG, well played. Congratulations to GuMiho for taking that series, getting his revenge as well. Creator, he did win the first series against GuMiho. He did win that first best of 3, but GuMiho was able to bring it back here in the end with a very cheeky 2-base all-in. A lot of this did also come down to the fact that if you remember, those first 2 adepts of Creator, they were pulled over towards the right-hand side of the map. Creator, he didn't see the all-in coming until it was already in his face, until it was already outside his front door. And he was woefully underprepared for it. You saw as soon as the push like revealed itself, Creator, he's like, he threw down like a second pylon, a shield battery, he threw down like additional gateways, like it was all just like a haphazard reaction, just a little bit too late for Creator. Eventually went for the Dark Shrine. I do think that if Creator had thrown down the Dark Shrine immediately, if that was his reaction instead of like the shield batteries and gateways, then maybe he could have used them to defend. I don't know. I think he still would have lost his natural. he probably still would have lost the natural base regardless. And that's really all that GuMiho had to do. So really well done. GG, well played. Congratulations as we do switch our scenes over and we check out the overall group here. Pretty intense day of StarCraft. A lot of ace matches compared to the other groups. In Group A and Group B, we had a lot more 2-0s. Here, almost every single series went to Game 3, went the distance. Dark initially popping off against Special. Again, even though Special did get eliminated here, a shout out to Special because he actually looked really good in Game 1. If you missed out on it, I highly recommend checking out Game 1 of Dark versus Special. It was very impressive, actually. It was very impressive from Special overall that series. In the end, of course, Dark did come out first in Group C. Likewise, Creator also forcing the ace match against both GuMiho and Dark. Creator, he came so close. He came so close to qualifying, to making it out of Group C into the round of 8. Alas, wasn't able to do so here in the rematch against GuMiho. And yeah, GuMiho kind of clawing his way back from the brink of defeat from that elimination match. Really good showing here out of GuMiho as well. It's a shame, like I'm a fan of a lot of these players, and I would have loved for more of them to have made it through, but that's GSL for you. You know, it's very cutthroat, very cutthroat. Not too many opportunities here. Only 2 players could advance on. The other 2 had to be eliminated. So yeah, congratulations to GuMiho. I wish him the best. Maybe I'm a little bit biased, but especially because GuMiho is teamless, I want him to do well. Like, I know that he because he's teamless, he doesn't have a salary. He doesn't have like monthly pay or anything like that. He relies on only his income from earnings and from winnings from tournaments. So I do wish him the best. I do hope that he's able to find himself a team as well, because he's a really good player. He's one of the best in the world, and hopefully, I mentioned this before, but hopefully for the new season of World Team League, for the new season of WTL, hopefully GuMiho is able to find himself a team and someone's able to pick him up. World Team League has kind of become a really big part of StarCraft, and for those who don't know, that's the reason why Basilisk like extended their roster. For a while, Basilisk only had Trigger, and then they kind of grew and they reached out to both Serral and Raynor to play in WTL specifically, and a lot of teams have kind of done that. A lot of teams have kind of formed and grown as a result of World Team League. So yeah, it has become kind of like a cornerstone of StarCraft nowadays, which is really cool to see. Really cool to see. And with the next season of WTL in a couple of months, hopefully GuMiho is able to participate and take part. Fingers crossed, fingers crossed. But yeah, with that, we're done for today. We are done for this evening. Hope everyone enjoyed themselves. Hope everyone enjoyed the games themselves. Speaking of World Team League, and if you want some more CranKy Duckling action, as I quickly just double check the calendar, we have World Team League coming back. It's been on hiatus. It's been on hiatus for a couple of weeks because of all these other premier events going on, because of the Africa TV Champions Cup, because of the Masters Coliseum qualifiers. WTL has been, and because of course, Gamers 8, WTL has been on hiatus for like 3 weeks, but now it's back. World Team League, it comes back this weekend. The playoffs are upon us. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. 3 days this weekend, full of StarCraft action. I mean, we're always live over the weekend with plenty of StarCraft, but WTL is definitely something a little bit special. So, yeah, a lot of World Team League action over the weekend. I'm going to be casting alongside Asher and Yaku as well, and maybe even some Kuro. So maybe all 4 of us will get involved and cast WTL together over the course of the weekend. On top of that, we have some other events going on. We have the Tenacious Turtle Tussle on Sunday, we have KSL on Saturday, and we have a Home Story Cup replay cast tomorrow as well. So again, plenty of casting, plenty of action on this channel. As always, we have at least 1 cast a day, sometimes multiple casts a day. So yeah, keep your eye out. Keep your eye out if you enjoyed the cast. If you want some more, if you enjoy the Ducklings, then follow us. Follow us here on Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, ! Socials in the chat if you want to. Socials in the chat if you want to follow us on all the social medias. Otherwise, if you want to support the GSL, if you want to support this very tournament, ! GSL in the chat, and you can get a link to the Patreon. GSL, they do have a Patreon page, and that's how we gain access to something like replay packs, because you can get the replay packs via the Patreon. You can also gain access to player interviews and photo shoots. They have a lot of content. They have a lot of content available, so if you want to support Korean StarCraft, then you can do so via Patreon. It looks like our bot is down. So feels bad, man. Feels bad. It looks like our bot is down, but if you scour the internet, there are links available. There's a Patreon, I promise you, for GSL. It's out there. Ah, hold on. Can I get a link? Bam. There we go. Patreon.com/GSL if you want to support the Global StarCraft League and support the Korean scene if you're interested. Otherwise, thank you. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to tune into more of myself, I'm Light VIP. I'm the co-founder of the CranKy Ducklings, and I also stream on my own personal channel as well. Every now and then, every couple of days, I do stream over on Light VIP. So if you want to follow my solo content, you can follow it there. I don't cast there. I only ladder. I just play Star. I try and play StarCraft. I try not to smudge. I do my best. I do what I can. But if you're only interested in our casting, CranKy Ducklings is the place to be. So we got you covered. We do have you covered. Otherwise, thank you so much. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. Hope you all enjoyed yourself. Hope you all had a great time. Our next group cast of GSL is next week. So every single week, we'll be covering a group of GSL and Group D. Group D is next week. And Group D has Estrella. Max Angel is going to be on the channel next week for GSL. So make sure you tune into that. Make sure you tune in. Otherwise, thank you for watching. Thank you for the support. Our next cast is tomorrow for Home Story Cup. And I'll see you guys then. See you guys next time. Until then, thanks for watching, everyone. Bye. Hasta luego.